Right. What up, though? This your boy Beezy 430 from Dead in Hip Hop here back in hometown. Right quick, had to interview homie Foul Mouth, man. What's going on, Foul Mouth?
It's good, man.
Chilling, man. Just happy to be back home. Always happy to smell that good Motown smoke and shit. You know, you got your upcoming album come up, Snake Pit. I just gotta ask you this, just to ask this personally for me, like, why you call it Snake Pit? What's the name Snake Pit come from?
Actually, that came from Pat. That was Pat's idea. He came up with the idea. There was a day when there was just a ton of MCs down here, a ton of good people were down here fucking around, and we got a lot of days that are like that where cats are down here just vibing. A bunch of people, good cats, you know, right. good artists.
Right, because I remember I was here last time with Nolan and A-, and
yeah, there's all.
I think y'all caught a whole bunch of people to come by here, man, because I had brought Ken and Modest Media as also part of Dead in Hip Hop. We all came down here and listened to Nolan stuff, listened to some of your stuff.
Yeah, we had to take turns coming in and kicking it because there was too many people.
And Peace of Mind, he was down
Peace
here.
Of Mind was
like,
here.
Was just,
Chains was here.
Yep, Chains was here. Like everybody was here. Like we were just all just kicking it for like about 4 or 5 hours. Like we were just kicking it. So yeah, I can see. Okay, that makes sense. Calling it the Snake Pit because you just had people down here just vibing, man. We just chilling, listening to music, listening to beats. So that was dope, man. That was really dope.
Pat came with the idea based off, you know, Pittsville having the Snake Pit and shit, and it having like the best musicians in Detroit in there. That's how he was looking at it. He was looking at it like from an MC perspective, beat perspective, seeing how it worked down here, how we all work together, and how fast we knock shit out. I think that's a big part of it is seeing that many people come down here, and I can look up at the end of the day and have 7 or 8 tracks done in one day. 3 or 4 people come through, and these are like not just recording for them, but these are tracks that started from scratch, got made, written, recorded, mixed that day. You know what I'm saying? Not just here, let's do a quick track, not just a recording session with artists, just the way it build. The way we build is just cash, you know?
So it's normally like that down here, like it ain't no scheduled time, like, hey man, be here, we recording it.
We try to, but
y'all just come in and just knock stuff out?
We try to do it like that, but when I look, I got Fridays and Saturdays off, so when I see my Fridays and Saturdays off like that, I'm real bad at scheduling, so sometimes I'll be like, I'll schedule somebody and I'll be like, yeah, I got blah 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 coming over. Yes, bango, man. It'd be 2 in the afternoon, and I wouldn't realize like other people end up coming over because I schedule too many people in a day, and I forget that I do this shit. So we look up, and some days there's just a ton of fucking people down here. I mean, a ton of people.
Really?
I fuck people's sessions up like that on accident, though. That's my bad.
But I bet it's cool though, man. Like I would love to be like here for like a bang session or like A- coming out. Y'all just Nolan just coming out, just hashing shit out. I think that should be like so dope to like witness. I think that's cool. So let me ask you this: what makes this project different from your previous project? Because like we talked about earlier, the
sound
off camera was, you know, it's been 2 years in the making. So like, what's different approach with this one than your approach with the Soul Lewis and when
the sound? I still sample the same style samples I was fucking with back then, but the chop's very different. If you listen on Soul Lewis, there's a specific feel on how I chop the bars. A lot of like chop a quarter piece, let it roll out. Quarter piece, let it roll out. I did a lot of that, just a lot of a lot of kick snare shit, and this sounds a lot different. I actually haven't really did beats like that since. And I wanted this to have the same type of vibe as Soul Lewis, but be a completely different creation at the same time. Be nothing like it, but you listen and go, yo, that's definitely the same producer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wanted to shit on it. I wanted it to be absolutely better in every aspect, and I feel like I hit on that. I really do.
So how was, I mean, I want to ask you this too, now that I'm like facing you face to face, but like how was it doing the Lars project?
Doing the Lars project was dope. One day, Gordy and Biz came down here. He brought Biz over. He said, you gotta come fuck with my dude, because you know, me and Gordy be knocking shit out a lot. And he came down here, and they came up with the idea to do a track called Last American Rock Stars. And then I think it was, Gordy came up with the idea for the track, and then Bizarre came up with the idea for the group. And we immediately went into a sound of, we're gonna do some grimy hip hop shit, and then I'm gonna flip some 80s shit so that we can get the rock star aspect of like the 80s feel. And if you listen to the mixtape, that's what that is. It's a little bit mix of both. The album's a little bit different. We got some other producers in on it. I did a couple joints on there too, on that one too. But I did the whole mixtape, and that's the sound we went for on it. So that's why it's 2 different projects that were separated, because the original feel that we were going for is a lot different than the way the album sounds. So we separated the 2 from each other, because originally it was just going to be, I did like half the project, but when it came up with the idea to separate the 2 because they sound so different from each other, it made a lot of sense.
Any other stuff you're working on? I know besides Bang,
man,
I know you got something going with Bang.
Yes, The Adventures of Bang Belushi is coming out after the Snake Pit. We're going straight into the focus on that. That's within the next 2 months.
Okay.
We're dropping that. Shit, what's coming out after that? Help me out, Jimbo. What am I missing, bro?
What's up?
I got yep, Aztec drops September. I'm doing his whole album. He's dropping a lot.
Entire album.
Yep, he's dropping Lion King, and he's dropping the Lion King mixtape. The mixtape's gonna have other producers on it. It's gonna be like 8-10 tracks. He's dropping that first, and then we're dropping the album. I think it's gonna be 11 or 12.
Okay.
Following it right up 5 weeks later.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so we're busting.
Yeah,
we're dropping both these albums over the next couple months. These are gonna come out before it gets cold. Absolutely, both projects.
Is there any more artists like in the D that you like want to work with and do like whole projects with?
All right, a Faculous project. Like if I could do a Faculous project, to me that's like, that's something I want to do, because I'd sit down and create the whole sound. But that's it. Them guys ever get back in and they actually let me do it. But I'd still do whatever I could to get some joints on it.
I mean,
I would make sure I landed.
Based off what I've heard, you know, a few minutes ago before we shot this interview, like I can definitely hear you finessing them with some dope beats for their project. Because I'm a huge fan of Fat Killers since the Too Fat Too Furious joint. Like I remember when they went to their album, they Too Fat Too Furious release party and shit, man. Like yeah, I can definitely hear you crafting a nice sound for them. So that's what's up. So who's some of your favorite producers now? Like
Knots. I think he's the best in the world.
Do you follow him on IG?
Yeah,
man.
Every day I listen to those beats, man.
His IG is so damn disrespectful.
It doesn't matter what he samples.
So disrespectful. Like I know sometimes as a producer you watch that and be like,
I get fucked up by it, because some of the samples he plays in the beginning, I'm like, what are you gonna do with that? And then that feel he's got kicks in. You're like, oh, he can make any track feel the way he makes beats feel.
Yes.
It don't matter.
And
what
it still got that Knots feel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I think that's so.
I think he's the best in the world. I'm actually surprised that he isn't on like the biggest of big shit. Like when you hear you see like Kanye go out and get like a Mad Lib beat.
Right.
I'm just surprised that I don't hear his shit land on those type of projects too.
My name, he produced a Nostalgic joint featuring Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, okay.
Like, that kind of got like people who didn't know. That kind of
everybody should know, man.
You're right though. Everybody should know. But like that got him the recognition. Like people was like, okay, who is this Knots dude? Like this dude been producing for Busta Rhymes for like decades, and y'all just not noticing about this guy. But yeah, like Knots. Okay, that's your favorite. Yeah, Knots. DJ Scratch. Who else? Of course, Dilla.
Yeah, Dilla, Just Blaze, Premier. Like those guys. I mean, I'm 35, so coming up. When I was 21, 22, that was all my favorite shit.
Yeah,
especially Primo. Like, as an MC, like we used to just have beat CDs full of Primo beats, so we could freestyle. You know what I you
rapped?
Oh yeah, I've been rapping forever, man. Yeah, my last shit was a group called Bully Camp. It's me, Aztec, Metascience, Jake New from Waste Management, and Joey Knuckles.
Okay.
Yeah, we put that shit out. I gotta get you a copy of that.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you was producer. I thought you was like Lily producer only.
No, that's where the foul mouth comes from. I'm known for I was known for freestyling long before beats. I'm the opposite. Like I attempted to make beats when I was 17 years old. I went and bought this a Zoom rhythm track, a Boss, and it basically just taught me how. You got to learn somewhere that the kick hits first.
Right.
Something's got to show you that from somewhere. So that's where I learned how to make a beat. But I knew I needed samples, and that wasn't it. It was just a little fucking 808 set, you know.
Okay.
But that's where I learned, and I seen a cat making beats on Acid Pro back in like 2002, 2003. He used to make beats for me, and I figured it out and understanding what he was doing, watching him make beats. And that's how I started making beats back then. Was like maybe 05. I really started making beats. Yeah.
Are you type producer that's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? As far as like, you're not the type. You don't seem like the type of guy that like get hyped over like new equipment. Like you seem like the type that use. Like if it ain't broke, I'm gonna use this and I'm gonna keep using this and keep using this.
I like keyboards because, like, you know what I mean. But honestly, okay, here's the problem: is I'm using this old ass version of Acid Pro. I still love it. And I keep using it.
But you putting out dope beats though.
Thank you.
It's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Are you the type of guy, or are you the type of person that like, I gotta learn how to do this, do that, learn this machine, learn this MP?
No. Well, machine wise, like, I got an MPAD, MPD. What else do I got over here? I got 303. I've got shit I fuck with. I got several keyboards.
Okay.
It's just like the MPDs and shit. They don't trigger an Acid Pro. There's a new one that's up to date. I'm switching over operating systems and shit. Okay. So we're gonna see how that works out. But That shit doesn't actually trigger. You got to use other programs for it. And I can't stand that shit. I like to go. I make the whole beat right in front of me. Like I chop everything. It's all on one screen, and I prefer to stay there. That's why I haven't left.
Yep.
Is because I don't have to. The way I've got the beats figured out, I even figured out how to chop right on the main screen. I'm not even supposed to, but I figured out how to mathematically. And so I prefer to just stay right there because I'm on one screen where everything goes down. And if I leave it, it's not going to be like that no more. So I guess that's a comfort level thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know some producers are kind of like, I'm staying in my comfort level. Hell, DJ Premier used the damn MPC 60, a machine that was made in '88 for like 30-something years.
That's crazy.
So it's like he's still pumping out this type of beats and that, because like you said, the comfort zone. So that's what I'm just wondering.
Plus, if you hear it, it don't matter what you're working with. You're just gonna create it the way you hear it.
Yep.
It's not like you go between programs or between hardware and you go, oh well, I got a different piece of hardware in front of me. I'm just a whole different producer with a new ear. It don't work like that. That's why you hear producers on like they show you the early shit on something different. You're like, oh, that sounds kind of like what you do now. Maybe you progress more, but you hear it how you hear it, man. You're gonna chop it and make it hit the way you make it hit. I'm more focused on always getting new drums and keeping my drum game as fresh as possible because that's important as fuck.
Speaking of drums, how you feel about like producers like selling drum kits?
That's funny you said that. I've actually been putting a drum kit together myself for like the last 3 months, slowly doing it. Yeah. I think the drum kit game can get whack as fuck. But there's a lot of cats that are making really dope drum kits, so it's like, that's pretty fresh. I think it's whack when producers take like the obvious loops that these other producers make and just make their own beats with them, and it's obviously those loops. I think that's whack as fuck because you need to be your own person.
And the reason why I ask, 'cause I know people got like a lot of different opinions about that. Like some people think it's just whack altogether. Like find your own drums, dig in your own records and loop, find whatever you can find. But then some people like you just said, drum kits is pretty cool. If you know how to use them and uniquely.
Well, I use them to layer breaks and shit too. I'm more worried about the whole sound. I'm not trying to bite somebody's sound. So let's say I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody's got like a kit full of like their own drum loops, and some of them are live or something. I'm not just gonna take that loop. If there's a dope shaker in it, and I like the way that shaker sounds, I might cut that bitch out and set it up myself.
Right.
Throw some swing on it, do whatever it is I do. Pitch shift it, mix the mids out of it, just so I get some high end, or opposite. Make it sound like it's like thick in the background. Turn it down low, turn the highs down, make it sound like the way the sample sounds. Throw it behind it. There's just so many different things you can do with stuff. You gotta always be willing to want to do those things. If you're taking the easy way out by just taking loops and just taking their loops for what they are, then you're somebody just making beats. There's nothing different about you. You're gonna if you're dope at what you do, you're gonna flip it your own way and you're gonna get out of it your own piece. That's what makes it. That's the art of it, is making it artistic. It's not artistic if you just grab it. That's the difference between an artist and a rapper, or an artist and a beat maker. You know what I mean?
Now, did you mix and master Snake Pit?
Yes.
Yourself?
Yep. I mix and master every track.
And Acid Pro?
Yep, and Acid Pro. Yeah. And the ceiling in Acid Pro is not like anything else. When I try to explain it to people, it's like, imagine you're 6'6" and you have a 38-inch vertical, right? Well, when you go to dunk from 2 steps away, it's gonna be a lot easier for somebody who's 6'6" to do it compared to somebody who's 6'1". Right. Having to stretch out to get there, you're not gonna dunk as easy. That's the way I explain it. The ceiling is different. Like you gotta work the mixes differently in there. Supposedly a new operating system they got is different though. Magic's bought the program. I got a brand new computer for all this, so I can switch over and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it sounds just a little bit different than what I've had in the past.
Good. So what else? How many tracks is gonna be on Snake Pit? Like
20 tracks.
20? Oh, 20.
Yep, 20 tracks.
I know you had more than that. Like a new original.
Oh yeah, you probably. I think you're one of the few people that got early versions of the shit. Probably 5, 6, 7 different songs ago that got snatched out that bitch. We got picky, man. We got really picky about it, but I'm glad we did because I feel like the extra time that we had the last few months to do that makes sense to be like that. Like we need to be picky, making sure it's the best of the best, showing people we trust getting their opinions and basing those opinions off how we felt about it. The only tracks that came off were ones that we would see people who agreed with us and felt the same way. But yo, get that one off. That's how we feel too. Let's get that one off. You know. So that I got as picky as possible. So did Pat, man. I mean, all the way to the last day before we sent them out, I made a new outro for it, and we erased a different beat the day before we sent them out when all the other tracks were already done being mastered. I spent a whole day just making beat after beat after beat after beat, so I got that that final track that would fit the project.
So y'all was picky with this.
Yes.
Ooh, y'all was picky.
That's why I feel good about it. That's why I feel like this is better than the other ones. Because the other ones are on point in my opinion, but I feel like this is as on point as we possibly could get it.
Really? So like
that's the difference between
this.
this.
I also noticed too, it was the first two was presented by producers I know. So this one is gonna be strictly on your.
This one's strictly us. This is me and Pat, man. This is all of our own money.
Okay.
All of our own blood, sweat, and tears. Every drop of it is us.
Videos.
Everything.
Yeah, because I think with the Ghetto Speak, yeah, that joint. you shot that one? Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was dope. That was.
Yeah, shout out to Swigz and Joey for nailing that shit. I mean, how long did we shoot that bitch for? Like 4 hours, maybe 5 hours.
Yeah.
That was shot pretty quick, man.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of. I think that's dope what you do, because you don't see a lot of this, especially in the beat tape scene. Like people putting out full produced videos for for their joints.
Yep.
So like. You don't see that much. I think
no, you don't. No one does it too.
Yeah,
no one does it too.
I think that's dope that you do it, and yeah, you're right. Nolan does it as well.
Yep, he does it too.
I think that's dope. Two people I'm a fan of that's from the D that's like putting out full-fledged video, because you have to really. It's like you really taking time and putting out this album. Like this is an album. You can't.
Yep, it's an album. It's not.
A beat tape. Yeah, it's an album.
It's funny you said that, 'cause I've had people ask me. They're like, "So what makes this an album?" And that's what I use to explain it to them. Like, listen, the way the tracks flow, I make sure it feels like a project. The whole idea is to be able to play these 20 beats. I think it's like 47 minutes or some shit. Is to be able to play these beats and listen to it all the way through and not have to have lyrics. Like you be cool with it. Some of these tracks, if you listen to them, you might not even realize it until you actually think about it. Like these are meant to be instrumentals. I mean, I'll let some of them samples just ride, you know. And that's the whole point. Is it's so it can just ride, so you can listen to it and it be fulfilled. I like using a lot of them longer samples. It fulfills it being an instrumental album. Because sometimes just having like a dope loop that somebody would rap on, and then flipping the hook and stuff is dope. But sometimes you need something that just carries. And I feel like I did a great job of both, having beats that could just carry without vocal samples, and beats that do have them. Long ones too, long ones for the hooks, stuff like that. And I feel like it's on point, man. I tried to hit every aspect possible, like the deep soul tracks, the bangers, soul joints that weren't soul tracks but feel like the soul tracks, and still mix in and still fit the vibe. Like I said, long vocal samples, them big growls and them big screeches you hear from some of them soul joints from like 67 to 70, when you heard a lot more of the them high pitched tones, like them high, you know what I mean, them long ones. Used a lot of them. And
I know you was talking about people. What do you feel about like MCs today? Like, cause I know once you release these beat tapes and put them out for sale, it's like they out there. Then have you ever got like MCs or whack MCs like, yo man, I rapped over your shit. Like, what you think? Like, how you feel about like people doing that nowadays, taking stuff off SoundCloud?
Well, Pat lets you know right away that he'll punch you in the face if he figures out who you are, and you're just doing it and you're whack. For the most part, we pick out the people we want on the beats.
Okay.
I've always been like that. Pat's always been like that. We like these to stay in house and go to the people we want on them. So when we release the tracks, they're ours. They're still our stuff. You know what I mean? And we purposely try to do as many as we can from the tapes for that purpose.
Going back to like albums, more like your beat tapes, more like albums. Do you feel like you're gonna make any more, or are you kind of going towards the like, I want to produce for artists, I want artists spitting over my shit from now on, or are you still going to beat tape route? Because sometimes I see producers, start off making a lot of beat tapes, then they just kind of end up going away from that and just only producing for artists only. So do you see yourself going down that road at some point?
I've got so many projects lined up right now. Like I didn't mention like the other 3 or 4 that are like in progress or halfway done. Me and E-Fave got a joint that's halfway done. Me and E-Fave from Clear Soul Forces. Wow. My dude Jay Classic from Ypsilanti, we got a project that's halfway done. Jake New from Waste Management, we got a project that's halfway done. And then I got Bango and Aztec. So like I've got all these albums I plan on dropping within a year. So what my plan is to drop this beat tape, and we got Spirit of Detroit compilation. That's 3/4 done.
Okay.
So like right now we're figuring out time and figuring out which ones we're gonna get finished first and how we're gonna put them out. So I got this beat tape and those 2 projects lined up, and then I'm gonna line up 3 of those. And then once we drop those 3, during that process, I'll be making my next beat tape to drop after those. So it'll probably be a year after Snake Pit before you get another beat tape from me, but it shouldn't be too much later than
it's not gonna be a gap like you did.
No, yeah, it's been 2.5 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Like I remember when y'all was getting the prop ready for the album cover, you know, the actual cover, you know, the trophy and stuff. So I was like, damn, like it's been a minute. Once Pat was telling me
2.5 years.
Yeah, I was like, damn, it has been a minute because you've been producing for so much. You've been busy. So.
Yeah, but I think we put out like 4 or 5 albums in between that. Let's see here what we got. I did like half of Vicious's record. Which put out the Lars Project, put out Marijuana. I did my rap thing, put out Bully Camp with my crew. Is that it? I might be missing something, man. And I've done a ton of shit on other people's projects during that time. I've done tons of different features with cats for their stuff. So, yeah, I think that's about right. 4 projects in between these last 2.5 years. So I'm still dropping stuff every 6 months. It's just beat tape wise, I had my little gap here and re-coming out again, man. And I feel great about it. I really do. I feel like this is by far the best of my 3.
Can't wait. I'm glad y'all gave me an early copy of it because I mean I was telling the crew at Dead Hip Hop like y'all check this out, listen to it. When we premiered Ghetto Speak, this over there, so they was just like and I'm always the beat tape guy. Yeah. So they I'm like since we've been doing this I find they find themselves listening to more beat tape, listening to Odyssey, listening to Black Milk stuff. So they like man thanks B man, like I never thought I'd be listening to instrumental albums. So they like
but they exist, good ones.
Yeah, I'm saying there's good ones that exist. So that's dope that like I'm putting people on stuff and they putting them on your stuff. They're like, yo, man, this dude filthy. Like,
thank you, man. So appreciate that.
Yeah. And I always be curious for like artists and producers that I'm a fan of. Like, what you think like the state of hip hop like right now? Like, do you think it's shit? Do you think it's okay?
Me personally,
however you want to make it to be.
I'm a bad fan now. Like, I'm like, bad fan. Wow. I'm a bad fan because this is what people don't want to admit that they're bad fans.
Okay.
I'm a bad fan because I'm biased towards things, and most cats are that are 30 and older. I'm biased towards a lot. Like, there's things I might not hear for 3 or 4 months because my biased opinion before it came out. My expectation before it came out. So I miss stuff and then I'll catch up on it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I listen to new music daily. Me and my dude Jimbo Slice were checking out that new Nas just last night, you know, when we went through the whole thing. And you got to always be open and to listen to new music. But the problem is like cats like certain artists a certain way, so they give you their aspect of their opinion most of the time, and they're battling their own opinion instead of just being open-minded about listening to new music or listening to an artist now and figuring out how dope he is. And instead it turns into my opinion's #1 and it turns into like internet talk, and instead of just people enjoying music or being down with the certain artists they used to like, now they might hate them, so they're just like purposely hating on them because they don't like them like they once did. I mean, it's important to be listening to new music though.
Killed that too.
Oh God, yes it did.
I think social media just, in a way, almost kind of killed like the perception of a hip hop fan.
It did
like,
too.
You know, compared to when we was growing up, you know, 80s and 90s. It's just like now with social media, it's like everyone got these platforms to like, I hate to say this, but like say dumb shit.
Yeah,
like just
their stupid opinions.
Yeah, it's like just say dumb shit, or they like to troll. You know, just you know, people saying, you know, Black Thought ain't a top MC, or like Redman ain't a top MC. It's like, dude, like, are you really listening to hip hop? Like, are you really a fan? So I think social media just kind of mess up.
Yeah, I can't trust fans no more. That's the scariest part. That's the state of hip hop that I
used to though. Like before, we used to trust like fans. Like if you know, like, yo, what you think of that? Oh, bet. Let me copy that from you.
Opinions were just more accurate.
Yeah,
they just were. I mean, I understand an opinion's an opinion, but I don't care. It was more accurate.
It was, and I just feel like social media kind of messed it up. Now, social media is good for like, you know, getting stuff out there and finding dope shit. But I just think also it's messed up the perception of the fan, man. Like, so that's why I asked you like just the state of hip hop.
I think the state of hip hop's at an all-time high, production wise and skill and style wise. It's just the fans suck now. That's the biggest part of it. Is people aren't enjoying shit like they used to when they should be. There's a lot of up-and-coming artists that are just super dope and hungry, and it's harder to get on now than ever because everybody's taking the same platforms. So some people are hungrier than they ever would have been before because they actually have a check. People feel like they got a shot. It's just everybody's sharing the same platform, so space is limited. And I find dope artists, man, and when I see their views and stuff, they're like, oh, why?
Right.
Not even fair. Not even fair. You know,
it's like the internet can be the gift and the curse, man. It really can.
Exactly.
Like it's the gift because, like you just mentioned, you find I find a lot of dope, you know, indie artists, underground artists. I'm like, y'all need to check this out. Y'all hyping up this other stuff. Like this dude should be the one that's getting props. So yeah, I feel you. Internet is definitely a gift and a curse, man. It's, especially dealing in our circle too, man. It's just like we get so much like crap all the time.
Oh man, yeah, you guys probably get flooded.
Like we get flooded all the time, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, as me, I'm a genuine hip hop fan, so you know, after a while, you know, I've been a hip hop fan for 30+ years, so it's just like I know what I like, I know what I don't like, I know what I'm willing to give a chance, you know, give an ear to or listen to or whatever. But other than that, man, it's just like I feel like that internet can be a gift and a curse. So I just wanted to know your opinion on that, because I'm like, I know I can't be the only one that like thinks that way sometimes. Like
even some people's opinions I trust, it just might not. Maybe I shouldn't. Yesterday was a prime example of it. I've never seen so many people confused about that Nas project. So, I've seen people loving it and getting mad about people that are hating on it, and the people that were hating on it were mad about people loving it.
Loving it, yeah. You gonna see that on the net.
There was a couple dope joints on there, and then there was a couple I wasn't feeling. I mean,
and it happens.
That's every album, right?
Yeah,
you know, there was some good shit on there though. I was actually really surprised by like all the hate about like some of them real dope tracks that we were listening to yesterday. I'm not even getting the track listing because we didn't. I don't even know the names yet. Yeah. I can't remember the names. I don't remember the names of my own beats.
Yeah, I only got it one listen. I got one. Like I was telling Bang, I only got like one listen.
Us too,
far,
one listen.
So I gotta dive into it some more, you know, before I be like, okay, I know how I finally feel. But yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you, man. That's exactly. I just want to ask you about like the state. You said, but I definitely agree with you about the producers, because it's what I'm noticing. I don't know if you noticed this too. A lot of younger cats.
Yeah.
Out there making, I'm talking about like 15, 16.
Making boom bap.
Yeah, making boom bap
cool.
now. And I'm like, damn, dope ass boom bap too. I'm like, that's kind of cool
parents.
Seeing that. Yeah.
A lot of that's their parents.
Yeah,
man.
probably. Because now their parents is our age. Yeah, our parents is like our age. Now they got the 14, 15 year olds. But I'm noticing a lot of younger producers out there putting down some dope shit. And I'm like, then that's dope. It kind of makes me give hope. Like, okay, hip hop might be in a good space in the years to come. Because people always look at like the double XLs, and you see the freshman class and be like, okay, this can't be where hip hop is at. You know, it's
that's where commercial.
That's where
pop rap music
is going at. But like, if you look at like the real genuine hip hop shit, it's like, okay, this ain't good hands.
This is all. It's always been like this though. People forget that. Like, what people forget about CNC Music Factory in 1990 because it was nobody ever compared it to what Cool G Rap was doing in 90 or what Rakim was doing. You knew that there was a difference. I think people got so into like hip hop's mine, I love it, it's my culture, that they forgot that like that's gotta exist so that the underground exists. Because if the underground was mainstream, then it wouldn't be the underground. That's the whole point, is separating the two. That's why you get to be able to say, this is mine, I love this shit. It's not just yours, it's not mainstream media's, it's ours. This is our shit. And that's where people forget that. Like, you should be happy about like being able, if I was like 16 right now, I would find all the dope shit. Just like I did when I was 16.
Because we didn't have internet. We didn't have like social media like that when we was coming up, man.
You gotta buy CDs. Yeah. That's what I used to work for in high school, was to buy CDs. Literally.
Buy CDs. Now you can literally listen to a whole album without even like purchasing it before you, if you want to purchase it or whatever. But like, yeah, it's different. You're right. If I was,
or they just steal it. I mean, you can do both.
That too. But yeah, that's definitely dope, man. I like that. The way how hip hop is going as far as the young guys, young up and coming producers, man. Like, got young guys like Nolan. Like, that's another dude that's like boom. It's a treasure.
Super boom bap.
Yeah, super boom bap.
95, 97 tempo type stuff.
Like, I love it, man. And like
lo-fi.
I try to put people up on artists like that, man. Like, yo, this dude is doing this too. Like, not shooting the trap stuff. Like, trap stuff is good for if you going to a strip club and all that stuff. But like, look, this is some boom bap shit that's still being appreciated, man. Like,
I do a little bit of trap stuff. Not a lot.
I heard some. I got
some soul trap stuff, and I got a specific sound I make for like Gordy. You know what I mean?
I got you. Gordy, is it like a different mind state you go into? Like, if
completely different. Yeah. Sometimes if I do trap stuff, I'll do it for like a month.
Really?
And I'll make just a few hip hop joints. I'll get that like feeling of every time I sit down, I want to start at 130 or 120, 138 instead of going 85.
Got you.
You know what I mean? Going into completely different drum kits.
So that's like your sweet spot, like 85 to like 92.
80 to 85 is my sweet spot for the
For most of
I think like 12 or 13 joints on this project are 80 tempo.
Okay.
If you listen to it, it's slower. This album's slower than the last album.
Okay, yeah, that's one thing I remember too about Winners Take All was
a little bit faster.
A lot more,
88, 90.
a lot more up-tempo beats on that one compared to Soul Lewis. And so you said this one, you kind of going back to that 80, 85 tempo-ish. Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, this one's a little bit different. It's similar. You can tell it's the same producer.
Okay.
I think it's mixed better too. I was comparing the mixes the other day.
That's what's up.
I've gotten better at mixing since then. It's been 2.5 years. There's no reason why I wouldn't.
Okay.
You can find a Snake Pit on every platform possible. Especially my Facebook and my Instagram and my Twitter. We're promoting it hard. We're promoting a new website, FileMouth313. You can get everything, pre-order every bit of hard copies, anything we got. You can get it right off the website. Release party is gonna be on June 23rd. Live B sets from Peace of Mind, Pigpen, Blizzard. Aztec's gonna be doing a rap set. I'm gonna be topping it off at the end, playing the actual B tape. So make sure you come out and check that out. We'll be dropping on every platform on June 26th. I'm crazy looking forward to this, man. I feel really good about this project. This is, like I said, I think this is by far, if you fuck with the first two projects, you'll absolutely fuck with this one. I personally believe this one takes dog shit on the other two. So.
Yeah, if you need, like I said, if you need anything help promoting it or whatever, you know we here, Dead and Hip Hop here for you, man. So
thank you, I appreciate that, man. We got
your support, everything. So just wanted to make sure you know that from face to face. You know what I'm saying? Always.
I super appreciate it, man. Because since we sent you Soul Lewis, man, you've been on board, man. I appreciate the fuck out of it because. You only get, especially in the instrumental world, you get so many looks, and you really have to do the best you can with the opportunities that exist, man. And you gave us a good opportunity.
I'm glad we're here to help.
Helping put our shit out like that, man.
We're here to help, man. So,
shout out to Pat 313 because honestly, I don't even exist in this instrumental world without him. Like his vision, Soul Lewis was his idea. I had 2 beats made and he came up with the whole vision of it. I had Detroit Gospel and For the Whole World to See. Those beats were already done. And he came over and said, can you do 18 more to sound like this? I said, yeah.
Wow.
And within a week he had the name of it, man. And once he had the name, the next 10 or 12 flowed right out because I knew exactly what we were creating.
Shout out to Pat 313, man.
That's him on that shit.
That's a good dude.
Both these projects, he named these projects, man. He came up with the name and he basically puts it on me to make the project. Hey, this is the name, what do you think? I bought it on the idea. I said, yep, let's create the music, you know?
That's what's up, man.
That's what he's good for, man. He kills that shit.
Well, hey, look, this your boy Beezy 430, Dead Hip Hop, Foul Mouth. Make sure y'all check out Snake Pit, because I know I got my copy already, so make sure you guys get yours once it come out. Peace.
Peace.